6:06. We'll go ahead and get started because I want to be really mindful of your time. This shouldn't take more than 30 minutes, depending on questions, but y'all have read a lot. So you might have a lot or you might have a little. Those who don't know me, I am Lori Pinter. I'm class of 88. I'm the alumni director. And Patty Miller is here with us. She was very instrumental in getting this started. This is based on a program that they have at St. Thomas, but ours is going to be a lot better. Sorry, I was just kidding. It will be just as wonderful. They're wonderful. Everyone's wonderful. Y'all know I'm joking. So this was based on that. We kind of expounded on it, made it a little bit more our own, and got to meet with Rob Mooring, who is the interim, sorry, that is the dog making purple noises, who is the interim head of counseling for this year. And he has been wonderful getting this started. And I'm going to let him just go with it because my dog is going nuts and he's who you need to hear from anyway. So take it away, Rob.
Thanks, Lori. It's really a pleasure to be with you guys. It took me all of about 5 minutes working at St. Agnes 8 years ago to realize the future was female. It didn't take long at all. And so the fact that I'm with you guys now is a huge thrill. I distinctly remember Mary Berenitis, like in my first couple of days, like as a student in the library, helping like the tech department. And so the fact that you're here as a successful alumna is no shock either. So thank you guys for your time. I won't take a ton of your time. I have a quick presentation to show you. But before I do that, I just wanted to tell you my quick, 2-minute journey to St. Agnes. So I'm a native Houstonian. My mom was a stay-at-home mom growing up. My dad was an undercover narc for the Houston Police Department. So that made career day at school very interesting. It's ironic that I'm a college counselor and I work in college counseling because I was a college counselor's worst nightmare in high school. I was a decent student, had no desire to go to college. I applied to one school because my mom made me, and it was Pepperdine because I knew I'd get denied because I knew it was like too selective. And so through some glitch in the system, some sort of clerical error, I was admitted. I'm not sure, but I was like, it's fine. They won't send me any financial aid. And then they called my bluff and I had to spend 4 years in Malibu, which was a tough existence, as you could imagine. And then when I graduated with a degree in radio, television, and film, I worked in television in West Texas for a while. I was a sports anchor at a NBC affiliate there. I met my wife when she was running my camera one day, and she eventually became a news anchor on the same station. So we were on the same newscast at the same time. So if we had marital disputes, we did it on live television. It was beautiful. And then I took her to visit Pepperdine, which is in Malibu and is gorgeous. And she said, if you don't move me here in 3 years, I'm coming without you. I was like, oh, that's compelling. So I got a job in admission there. And then she got pregnant with our daughter about 3 years in my time in admissions. And I knew she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I knew she wanted to raise kids back in Texas. So we moved back here. I worked at a school called Yes Prep. I worked there for 3 years and it was wonderful. It changed really my entire outlook on life. But I realized if I was going to be a decent dad to a kid and another kid on the way, I needed to not work 90 hours a week. So I was blessed to find St. Agnes, and I've been there. This is year 8, and I've loved every second of it. I tell kids, I know I found my dream career, my dream place, because I don't have the Sunday scaries anymore. I'm excited to go to work every Monday. So the fact that you guys are taking time out of your day and your busy lives to meet with us and meet with our current students is just so beneficial, and we're so grateful for your time. So if you guys need anything along the way, don't hesitate to ask for it. So I'm going to show you this quick PowerPoint just to give you an idea of what has happened so far. So let me put this here. And Laura, you can see this, right? Cool. So here's our agenda for our quick time together. I'm going to tell you what St. Agnes students are. They're not all that different from when you were there, I'm sure. I'm going to review the meeting we had with students this morning, the topics that we covered, the information that they heard from us, a little bit about what to say, maybe what not to say in your meetings, and also, of course, answer any questions you guys have. So the first thing is St. Agnes students are still super type A, highly motivated, organized, and on top of things. Like nothing has changed. Academy graduates are incredible people. And they're also still teenagers. They might miss a deadline or something come up and have to reschedule. So just be mindful of that. But if you have trouble tracking kids down, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Lori. I'll have my email address at the end of this, so you guys can reach out to me. Don't hesitate to do that, and I can come pull them out of class and make sure things are okay with them. They can also be pretty shy. When we meet with them as juniors for their first college counseling meeting, sometimes sophomore year, it's a lot of me talking, it's a lot of us talking. So that might be the way it happens in your early meetings. So you might have to carry the conversation. It helps to have an agenda if you can. It doesn't have to be anything complicated, and show them what the agenda is so they can be like mentally prepared for what you guys are going to talk about. And if you need help with talking points, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us either. We're happy to do that as well. Here's what we met with them about this morning. And I can tell you too, high school students by and large are not excited to do anything school related. And they were all like buzzing about this program. Like they were so excited. They got their matches and they were like, it was like Christmas morning. It was really beautiful. So here's what we showed them. We shared your information with them. We gave them, just like your social security number, personal address, blood type. No, I'm just kidding. We gave them your email address and your name and your title at your current profession. And so they'll be reaching out to you soon if they haven't already. We talked through the timeline of when you guys were going to meet, the window of time when those meetings would happen, the same stuff that you guys got from Lori in the material she sent earlier. And we provide examples of professional email communications to teach them. When I worked at Yes Prep, I had to do a unit. I was a teacher in a class too about professional email communication. I was like, oh, kids have had devices since they were like 3 years old. They can write emails and they cannot like write emails. So we trained them a little bit about how to write emails. I gave them this acronym, which I created when I worked at Yes Prep. It's SHRAG. So it's salutation, hello, reason, ask, gratitude, and sincerely. So hopefully like their emails will follow some sort of chain of effective communication. And we also gave them an action item of by the 16th, they're supposed to email you with a couple, at least 2 or 3 proposed times for you guys to have your first meeting. And so some of them will do it during the school day if they can. Some may ask you to do it after school. Feel free to have them work around your schedule. Absolutely. And they can do that. They're all willing to do that, but they'll send some proposed times to you. And they should send that email by January 16th. So if you don't hear from them by then, reach out to me or Lori. Also check your spam folders because they might like end up there too if you don't normally get emails from students at St. Agnes or St. Agnes in general, I guess. Here are things that I would encourage you guys to say when you're talking to students. Encourage them to like chase after their dreams and make a plan, right? As college counselors, our department of philosophy is we don't tell kids no, they can't or they shouldn't apply anywhere. We're not in the business of crushing kids' dreams. Like we support them where they are. But we want them to have a plan and have realistic expectations. So it's okay to have that with them too. They don't have to have it all figured out. I think it's crazy that we expect 18-year-olds to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their lives on more than double that. And I have no idea. Maybe it's this. I hope it's this, but we'll see. So they don't have to have a full plan figured out, and they probably don't. And even if they do, they probably aren't really sure. They're just telling you that to sound impressive. Also, help them to realize that fit for them is much more important than the name of the school they go to. We also believe that how a kid goes to college matters exponentially more than where. So make sure to help them realize that as they go through the college application process, especially when they get to senior year, because they're going to be really stressed about that. I would just tell you that the college decision-making process is incredibly nuanced and incredibly personal. And their college counselor is really the person that knows best. Like all the time, kids will get into highly, highly selective schools. And for a myriad of reasons, they'll end up attending a less selective school. And the first question that well-meaning people, including their classmates, maybe family, friends, and others are like, well, why are you going there? You got into Harvard. And it's just not as simple as that in a lot of ways. So just trust us in knowing that we're going to help them through the college match process to make sure they're going to the right place for them and their family. And it's very much a family decision as we move forward through the process. Maybe things not to say. Try not to give them college list advice. We do that a lot. I promise you. If you're like, hey, I think this kid would really like this school, filter that through us and we can help them do that. Certainly. You can always just send those to me and I can get it to their appropriate college counselor. Don't ask for their GPA and test score. I know that might be like tempting to be like, oh, where are you applying? And they're applying to these schools like, oh, what are your GPA and test score? I applied there too. Maybe like it. The running joke in college admissions when I worked at Pepperdine still now is like, if I applied to Pepperdine today, as opposed to when I applied 20 years ago, there is no chance on planet Earth I get into Pepperdine. None at all. Like it is remarkably more complicated now. It's much more competitive, much more selective. So even if you applied to college 5 years ago, it has changed dramatically in that period of time. So be careful when asking those kind of questions. Also, don't subscribe to the soulmate college method. Like I was saying, I went to college in Malibu, like paradise on earth. It looks like a timeshare, like not a college. And there were still days where I was like, man, I made a terrible choice. I really don't like it here. So we tell kids that all the time. There are going to be days, even weeks that you may think you have made the wrong choice. So there is not one school for any one kid. There's a myriad of places that can get them to where they want to go. Okay. Also, like, it's hard to do this. Like, we catch ourselves doing this sometimes too. Like, I don't want you to tell them, hey, like, if you want to do this, if you end up being this or want to do this, then you have to major in this, or you have to go to this school, or this school is better for that than this. And again, like, if the playing field was level for all students, that might be true, but there's so many different factors in the college application process. Oftentimes, students feel immense pressure to go to the most selective school they got into for a wide variety of reasons, but it may not be the most affordable for them and their family. It may not fit their family dynamic appropriately. So the college decision process is just not that simple. So try and be their cheerleader and not their advisor when it comes to their college application process. Okay. That's like my entire spiel. All right. Like people that go to St. Agnes and graduate from there, you're like the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Like, we know this program is going to be incredible. So we don't want to limit and stifle you in any way. And if you have any problems reaching out to students or getting communication from them, or if you have experiences in your meetings that you want to talk about with us, if they disclose things to you that could be a harm to themselves or others, please reach out to us, because you may develop a really close relationship with this student. And it doesn't take much for teenagers to tell you really deep things. They tend to be pretty upfront about that. So if that's something to make sure to lean on their safe haven training and reach out to us if they have any problems. So this is my email address. Please email me anytime you guys have any questions about any part of the process in handling kids. And we really appreciate the time you guys are taking to help students. Lori and I talked about this. She's been trying to do this program for a long time. And one of the few silver linings of a global pandemic is our ability to reach people virtually now. And so it's much easier to do it that way. And so we're so excited to have this program get off the ground. It's been wonderful. So thanks so much for your time. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them now, or you can email me later.
And I was going to say, one of the things we talked about with the girls was it doesn't have to be an hour and a half long conversation. It can be 15 minutes, just however it organically runs its course. There's no time frame on this. You have the breakout, and I can send him again of what you're discussing in each, what we want you to discuss in each meeting. You can go more into, other things that you want to talk about, that's fine, but don't feel like, oh no, this call was only 15 minutes. I haven't done enough. If that's how it organically runs, how it organically runs. And I also want to ask Patty if she had anything to contribute, since she knows a lot about these kind of programs and really helped put this one together.
Well, I wanted to just also say that when the topics for each session were designed, those were, we proposed some, but then counseling came back and kind of changed the schedule for that and maybe changed some of those topics a little bit. So that's why the session topics were designed the way they were, to align with counseling and to align with what the counseling department does throughout their second semester junior year and first semester senior year. So that's great. I think it's great to let the topic go organically too, but just keep that in mind that this really is aligning with what the counseling department is doing on site for the students while they're trying to get them to the next stage in their academic career.
Do we have any questions? Come on. I bet somebody.
I just tossed one in the chat, but I'm not sure if I just missed this in the materials earlier, but in terms of actually connecting over Zoom, which party is responsible for sending the link? Because I'm cognizant that Zoom changed their freebie policy, that it still cuts you off at 40 minutes.
That is true. So it's up to y'all. And if one of you has a professional one, that would probably be best. And then if you both still have the free one, you'll just know there's 40 minutes, and you could always, it probably won't run over 40 minutes, but if it did, you could always call back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I think you could also use Google Hangouts if you wanted to, or WhatsApp and do a video call as well. So I know we kind of start using the word Zoom like we do Coke when we just mean any soda. So feel free to use, I think, any virtual communication type that works for you.
A lot of the students use Teams. that that's one of the ways I communicated with a lot of them during COVID without a Zoom.
And we, in the email example we provided in the meeting today, one of the things they were supposed to do in the meeting is say, hey, do you have a Zoom account you'd like to use? Would you like to use mine? And we also told them if they don't have a Zoom account, they should talk to their parents first about creating one specifically for this. And so they need permission from their parents to do that. So that can be handled in whatever way is most comfortable for the group.
Yeah, they seemed very surprised to hear that they were children. I said, you're minors, so we do have, and they're like, oh, what? I'm like, yes, you're children. You're considered children in the eyes of the law. So there were some things we have to do. They didn't get that. It was kind of cute. Any more questions?
Laura, you said you'd resend the list of what we're supposed to talk about. Okay.
Yes. Yes, it's in that original document, but I'll break it out into its own sheet so you don't, because the first document has the dates of doing this and doing all of the requirements and all that. So I'll put it just as here's the schedule. So I'll give you just the schedule. So it's a one sheet, much more
Perfect.
simple to navigate.
You're the best, Lori. Is there, do we, like, at some point, is this group going to regroup?
We're going to, I'm going to be asking through probably about even a week after when you're supposed to have met, I'm going to be, okay, we haven't even come up with survey questions yet because this is so new. So it's kind of going to be based on the questions everybody asks. So reach out to myself and Rob, we're kind of going to base a questionnaire on that and kind of survey you, but we'll be checking in. We just don't have anything formal yet because we're kind of making it up as we go along on that side.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
But you can always reach out. I mean, even if something's bad, of course, but if something's just particularly great, or even just, hey, it's going smoothly, just drop a note and let me know. But I'm going to be emailing and asking, how's it going? What do we need? Are there any questions? And then we'll decide if we need to do this again, because y'all might have things you want to discuss with each other.
That's kind of where I was going with that, is maybe we do this again in 2 months from now, just as a, collective touch base. I don't know.
I think that's a great idea.
And I think we would, it wouldn't surprise me if we met in August as well as a group, because the change in your mentee from second semester
junior to senior,
the college application process is pretty remarkable. So we can give you some warning signs like, hey, the kids are losing their minds from August 1st till November 1st in a lot of ways. So
yeah.
Lisa's daughter is a St. Agnes grad, Rob.
She is a sophomore at LSU.
Oh, wonderful. Is she having a great time?
She is having a great time. Also has made Dean's List 3 semesters in a row. So she's doing all the things. She's
Beautiful.
having a great time, but also still absolutely excelling academically, which is all we want.
Good. Love to hear that. That's awesome.
So how do y'all feel about it? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you have good information? I mean, is anybody super nervous going, oh my gosh, what do I do? I mean, I know most of you, so it was really nice for me when I was doing the matching, because I could, since I know the majority of you, I went, oh, what the girl was saying she wanted. I don't know the students, but what she filled in saying she wanted, I said, oh, this will be good for that. I may be wrong. 80% of these I feel like were really true matches based on what that girl said my dream job is, which was an optional, and so many girls put that in. So I felt like there were a lot of really, really tight matches based on their survey form. There were maybe about 15% were kind of, I'm not sure. They were kind of vaguer based on what they do and what you do. But regardless, I think even if you're not in the exact same mindset of what she's doing and what you do, you can help them become professional people and talk to them about school and growing up and just all those things that have to do with a career. To have someone talk to them about it that's not their parents is pretty influential. So I think even if it's not the perfect match career-wise, I think mentor-wise, it's going to be really good.
All right, Lori, well, if it's not a good match, then we'll just, we'll come and discuss it with you. That's basically.
That's fine.
The bottom. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
No, please
I'm
do.
just
If
gonna-
you're just like, wow.
We'll just come directly to you. That'll be fine. Okay. No.
Just tell the kid,
And then,
just be like, hey,
yeah.
this isn't working out. It's not me, it's you.
I'm
That's-
so sorry. Lori made these matches and yeah, it just doesn't work.
Yes,
No.
you can blame it
I'm
on me.
very excited about this. I know you and I have been talking by email about this for a while, and so it's exciting.
Oh, good. I'm excited. I just get to sit back and watch y'all do awesome stuff now, kind of like all the paperwork and all the documentation and getting all the stuff out. Editing is not my strong suit. I'm a terrible, terrible typist. Had a lot of typos.
You did great.
Oh,
Thanks, Lori.
We're excited. We're excited.
so are there any more questions? It's 6:30, it's 6:27. So I feel like.
I
this-
have a quick question.
Okay,
I did not have time to finish all the videos. When is for the safe haven?
oh, I will tell I can have your mentors hold off then until the 16th.
I can get it done by the 16th. I just didn't have time after the holiday, whatever. I haven't done it yet.
Okay, I think.
So can I get a new deadline to like the 16th is Monday, is Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah, I'd emailed you back today. If you could do it by the 15th so she can contact you by the 16th, that would be ideal.
Oh, I could do that. That's weekend. Yes, I can do that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
And sorry, I may not have hit send on that email. That's been with my new, the Mac mail is new and you really can't find that send button. I'll go, oh, look, it's still in drafts. Yay me. It's been my new fun error that I've been having. So I'll make sure I sent that to you. Anyone else? Okay, is everybody email me anytime. I'm going to send you Rob's email when I I'll send this tomorrow, the layout of exactly just the timeline of meeting with them, because it's 6 times over a year and a half. I did have one girl, we had one girl today that said, can we meet with them more? If y'all decide you want to meet more, I mean, I think she wants to, go to brunch with you and she's great. So if they want to meet more and that works with your schedule and you feel comfortable with that, that is totally fine. So
I guess I do have a quick question. This is Sandra. Are we allowed to meet them in person?
I think so. But I think it's going to, Rob, I mean, you're not, we kind of told them to wait till they were seniors.
Okay.
18, and they do have to check with their parents just because, again, they are still children.
I think if y'all wanted to meet in person, as long as you talk to their parents and they were okay with it and they figured out a location or whatever, even if they wanted to accompany them to the meeting, that's fine. I think as long as, we can double check with Anne Marie, Lori, our HR manager, just to make sure. But I would think if you had the parents' permission to meet with them, I wouldn't think that would be a problem.
Okay, if it comes up, I'll be sure to reach out to you guys first. And yeah,
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because I work at a Catholic high school. So sometimes it depends on if you need to have 2 adults when you have your one-on-one with the student. It just depends on the situation. Like obviously if a student is working with a teacher in a classroom one-on-one, that's fine. But there's things about doors open, et cetera. So I think that's a good idea that if we can check with Anne Marie on that for the HR side, just because being part of the Archdiocese and with the safe haven requirement, it can sometimes complicate it and may depend on the case by case. But yeah, I think definitely their parents would need to give permission. That I definitely know from my experience at the school.
And, we might be able to, after maybe in their senior year, have a meet and greet on campus where they all come up and you all come up and meet together. Because again, we're just making this up as we go, but that seems like it might be, and that would be perfectly fine because you'd come up on campus.
That would be so fun, Lori. I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
I would really like that. That would be cool.
That'll be good. Okay, so we'll just make that happen. I'll just figure out with Rob based on the girl schedule, what's the time they're least stressed and have the least amount of stuff, which is kind of never, but we'll find something where they.
May is a good month. May is a good month to be a senior. Very good month to be a senior at the academy. Yeah.
Yeah, May is good to be seen, but we want to meet them before they're seniors though. We probably want to get into their junior year.
Yeah, we can look into that. Yeah, we can look into
We'll
that.
look at, we'll figure out a time that we.
I see it as like a culmination, like, hey, we've gone through the process together, and now it's like the end of the
For
journey, like
graduation.
celebration. I think that would be fun senior year. And plus, like, if you meet
Okay.
them junior year at the end of the year, there's AP tests and finals, like they are basket cases in a lot of ways.
Okay, so almost like you're graduating from being mentor. Now I'm your mentor and your friend. Yay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
I just have one question and an idea. Since this is a new program, should we, as mentors, take notes and maybe give ideas, or if something goes really well, give you guys kind of like a way of giving you feedback?
Oh, yes. Yes. We're kind of making up a survey as questions come up, but yes, like positive or negative. We are open to criticism, of course.
Well, no, or things that work
Anything that could help.
when you're engaging with this, with the student.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Yeah,
And
our
that
plan
could
is to make a survey at the midpoint of the process and then at the end so that at the midpoint, if there's things we need to adjust along the way, we can do that. And certainly on the back end, when it's done, we can prepare for next year. Yeah.
But y'all are our first. Y'all are the groundbreaking mentors. So you're paving the way for everyone. So you're going to be what makes it great and what makes it better for people down the line. So we do definitely want your opinions and your input. Good.
It's time to let these people eat dinner and have a.
Yeah, it's 6:32. So thank you all so much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate this. And we're very excited. So everyone have a good night. This is recorded. I will send out the link to it in case you want to review.